Listen, I got a question for you. Are you living on purpose or are you just going through life? Hey, family. Welcome to Marcella D and Friends. And listen, this is the show where purpose meets personal development and real conversations help you live a purpose driven life. I am Marcella D. Empowerment coach, servant leader, transformational speaker, mentor, author, a mommy, and so much more. A mother, I should say, of adult children, and so much more. And tonight I will be, and I tend to stand in the place of being your purpose partner. And tonight is going to be powerful. Listen, if you're a person who knows that there's more inside of you, more impact, more clarity, and more purpose waiting to be unlocked, this broadcast is for you. I show up on any given Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we just talk about purpose. So tonight, I'm bringing on a few of my amazing super friends, and and they're also ladies' night out vendors, women who are not only building businesses, but building lives rooted in purpose, faith, and personal development. We're talking about discovering and walking in your purpose, what it really means to live a purpose-driven life, how personal development plays a key role in becoming who you were created to be, and what's coming up at Ladies' Night Out, where our theme is igniting purpose. So whether you're feeling stuck, searching for clarity, or ready to just grow into the new version of yourself, stay right here. So I want you to take a moment to like, subscribe, share, and just say hello and let us know that you are in the building tonight. So I'm so excited, and I just know that there are some great things that are going to come out of our conversation tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. And the thing that I so love about being able to be live on the book and over on the YouTube is that if you cannot be here present with us live, you have an opportunity to join us on the replay. And so if you're watching this on the replay, let us know that you're here on the replay. If you are here live, say hello and let us know where you're from. And I guarantee tonight, if you hang out with us, that you will hear something that will not only ignite you, but empower you to be the best version of your God self. Listen, when I tell you, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel lost, because God positioned you to be present in this space and to hear this video so that you can be everything he's called you to be. So at this time, as you continue to like, share, subscribe, I am going to bring my beautiful super friends to the stage with me tonight so that they can join me on this mission of lifting you up and encouraging you and empowering you. Because listen, I know for some of us, we are here in Jersey, and in Jersey, the weather just, I guess, being itself, because it's Mother Nature. It's wintertime. So we got some snow today. We got some ice. We got some sleet. We got a lot of stuff that happened today. And so tonight we are home. I'm happy to be home with my little footies on. And I didn't go out today. We had church online, which was a blessing. And I've been indoors. So I just made a decision. Come on, y'all. Let's pop up. Let's speak some life. And let's be everything who God has called us to be tonight. So I am bringing my sisters to the stage tonight. And you should know them if you've been rocking with me for quite some time. Their faces are no strangers to this platform. I am so blessed to have our sister and woman of wisdom on the stage with us. Miss Kathy is here with us tonight. And then my sister is here, my sister Donna. And again, if you have been rolling with me, you have seen both of their faces. Kathy is a part of our Soulful Sales anthology, How Vending Empowered Me to Soar. And Donna and I have just been connected at the hip for probably almost 13 years now. And it's just been such a blessing. So ladies, I welcome you both. And not only are you here with me tonight, so we're going to talk about purpose. And then we're going to shift over a little bit and talk about the amazing Ladies' Night Out that was rescheduled from Saturday, December 27th. And now it's coming up on February 7th. And we are so excited. And I'm so excited because not only will they be there, but they will be vendors, and they have some amazing products that they will give you, in some case services that they will give you. And I guarantee you, once you even just connect with them at the event and hear some of the things that they're doing, you will be inspired. So, Kathy, I'm going to give you a moment. I want you to take a moment and I want you to introduce yourself. I'm going to take Donna and I off the stage so that you can have this moment. And I want you to tell us who you are, what you do, and the services that you provide with your business. Don't forget to tell us the name of your service, because I'm excited about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Hi there. I'm Kathy Cherry, the owner and CEO of House of Cherry, where I provide clothing for ladies, pretty much. I'm also part of the co-author of the book that Marcella mentioned to you about soulful sales, how vending empowered us to soar. Um, I've been in business many years. Actually, before I created an LLC, I was out vending. So probably about 30 years, really, I've been vending and selling, one product or another. I'm a mother of one son, a grandson. I'm a widow. I'm a lover of God. I'm on Facebook every single day, and I'm very excited about Ladies Night Out. So I hope to see you there. And that's about it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to use that little clip. That's why I needed you to be on by yourself. You're going to see a little
Okay.
clip of yourself floating around the book street, the social media street. So I just wanted you to be able to do that. So I'm going to bring Donna up, and then I'm going to send you to the green room so Donna can do what she do. Now, she's an expert at this, so I don't even have to tell her what she needs to do as I go sit down off the stage.
Good evening, good evening. I am so excited to be on here with my sissy, y'all. Okay, I am excited when Stella calls me and says, "Okay, now we get ready to do a pop up." To God be the glory. I'm here, right? I'm here. So I am Donna Izzard, aka the D.I, Divine Instigator, Disruptive Innovator. I'm a 9 to 5preneur. I continue to work in corporate America while I'm building God's businesses. Okay, building God's businesses, right? And so what I do, I got the traveling cupcake, which I'll be vending. I got a surprise for you ladies. You don't want to miss it. Okay, I will be launching something that God has told me to do as it relates to the traveling cupcake. I continue to do all that God has called me to do, right? On assignment, on purpose, for His purpose, right? And I also, I'm the founder of the CEO Prayer Closet that my sissy pushed me into. Yeah, I said what I said. Okay, anywho, okay, I'm excited. I do all the things. I'm a multifaceted masterpiece. Okay, created by the creator to be creative. I do all things that God has called and assigned me to do, and I'm excited about it. No, I'm not going to apologize. I do many things, right? I'm gifted at many things, right? So for those of you who are worried about being a multifaceted, masterpiece, listen, do not worry about it. Just do what God told you to do. Okay, and I don't apologize for it. So, but I'm excited because Ladies Night Out is all of that. All of that. In red, I get an opportunity. We get opportunity to dress up in red is something unlike any other. Okay. And so you want to make sure if you haven't got your tickets that you want to be there. You especially want to be there to just be a part of what I'm getting ready to launch. Okay. At Ladies Night Out in red. Thanks, Stella.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so, you know what? This is Marcella and Friends. Okay. This is something that I've been doing the last couple of years. And sometimes I'm very consistent with it, and other times I'm not. Some space comes in between. But whenever I show up because I believe that God has given me this mandate not only to talk about purpose and ignite purpose in others, but also bring my sister friends along with me, my super friends along with me, because I got an upcoming session that's going to have some brothers on it. So it's not just my sister friends, it's my super friends. And we come on, we talk about purpose, and then I give them an opportunity to share and talk about some of the things that are on their heart and the upcoming events, services that they have. And so I am so delighted because I have a bunch of wonderful things scheduled for this year. We're going to be talking a lot. You'll be seeing a lot of us. We'll be more consistent. And I just know that as we continue to do something, it will ignite something in you. And so even when we talk about Ladies Night Out, our theme this year is igniting purpose. Because one thing that I've realized that there are so many people who feel stuck. They know that they have been called to do something great. They know that there's something stirring on the inside of them, but they have not made that connection. They have not found the outlet that gives them the strength, the direction, and the wisdom that they need so that they can be effective and be everything that God has called them to do, especially women over 40. Because after the relationship ends, after the job may change, may get laid off, the children are out of the house, and there's so many things that happen. And because of it, we, especially us as women, we spent so much time taking care of everyone else, dealing with everyone else, covering everyone else. Then when it's just us, we don't know what to do. And so that will be the goal as we're moving forward in these Marcella and Friends broadcasts and episodes. We are coming to speak life to you. We're coming to encourage you. We're coming to just remind you that you are amazing and that your purpose is still intact. And so that's why I'm excited. And I just know that not only at Ladies Night Out, but as we continue to gather together, great things will continue to be released and happen. And I'm just excited. And so tonight, as we always do, we kick off the show by starting with purpose. I asked the question before we started. I asked the question, are you living on purpose, or are you just getting through life? Are you just existing? Are you just going through the motions? Well, I want to remind you tonight that you were created for purpose. You were created to be impactful in this earth. You were created to do something specific. When God created you and he released you in the earth, there was something specific that he had designed especially for you. It doesn't matter how many other people may do that, whatever it is, but there is something that only you can do. There are people who will only listen to your voice. There are people who will only listen to your story. There are people who will only be drawn to you. And so you owe it to yourself to position yourself in a way so that you can be available to those people and serve them the way that God has called you to serve them. And so, Kathy, with that being said, I want to ask you this question. When you hear me talk about purpose and you hear the word purpose, what does that mean to you?
Purpose. Well, I think it's something that's in your heart, something that you plan, something that you've been thinking about, and then something that you do. Like when I vend, my purpose is to sell clothing, but also develop a relationship with my customer. And with that, one way I draw my customer in is I offer a book of prayers to them. And whoever comes to my table, I have a conversation with them. If they purchase or if they don't, I give them a gift from my heart to theirs, and it's a book of prayers. And I always tell them that, you can never have enough prayer in your life. And so they walk away surprised and pleased. And sometimes they say that, you know what, I've been going through some things, and, this is going to be an answer to my prayer, this book of prayers. So that's part of my mission. My purpose is to do that. And I order them and they can come in, and I just take the whole box with me and just, give it to them while I'm vending. That's part of my purpose, I believe.
And that's so awesome that you would say that, because you've been with me for a very long time, Kathy. And you said the word, but I tell you not to say that word, selling to them, you offering them.
Yes, offer. Absolutely, offer.
And one thing that I hear you saying as you talk about what you do, basically you're saying you ignite, you take your purpose to ignite something in them. They may think that they're coming to your table for one thing, but one thing that we taught in so Soulful Sales, how vending empowered me to soar, is that vending is not just about a money transaction.
Right.
It's not just about sales. That's why we say soulful sales. It goes deeper than that. And what it is, and when they come to your table to experience you, that's what it is. They get a Kathy House of Cherry experience, and they may think they're coming because of the dollar of the transaction, but because God has positioned you, they're coming for more. And you not only allow them to walk away with the item that you may have offered to them, but you allow them to walk away feeling ignited and knowing that there's something more in them. So I love that. And the fact that you have been around, I call you our woman of wisdom because you are one of the older ones in this group. And I so love the fact that you have found a way to navigate through life, through the different changes, and make a decision, not, well, I'm old, I'm not doing this. And I say you are never too old. And the fact that you continue to stand and show up the way that you do, I know that God honors the gift of you in the earth. And I know that your purpose will continue to be stretched in the way so that you can be effective in the earth. So I salute you as a woman of wisdom, a woman who continues to show up. And I'm so blessed to be connected to you. And so, Donna, I asked you the same question. When you hear me talk about purpose, what does that mean to you? And how do you see purpose in you, in your life, and what God has called you to do?
Well, for me, purpose, right? And it used to be a time where everybody was talking about purpose. Then they got away for it. Now we back to it, right? And purpose. And I think we are living in a time where we have to know what our purpose is, right? So to ignite purpose, basically is to awaken what I believe that God has already placed inside of you when He formed you in your mother's womb, right?
Okay.
This is what I believe, right? It's the and when you as an individual understand what your purpose in life is, you become unstoppable. You become unstoppable. Okay. Because it's when you remember, and I say remember because it was in you when God placed you, formed you in your mother's womb, when you was created in His image. But what I believe is so many of us, we've been conditioned to hear what somebody else said. But I remember the day that I realized what my purpose was. Listen. And what is my purpose? My purpose is to show up. My purpose, speak up, stand up for the folks who don't have a voice or who don't use their voice, right? Is to teach them all about their identity. That is what I know, what I know, what I know. I know that that's what God created me to do. And the day that I realized what my purpose was, oh yeah, I become unstoppable. Okay, you can't speak to me and say you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know who you are, you don't know who. No. Especially if you call yourself a believer, it's not going to happen on my watch. I promise you. I know my purpose, and I stand boldly on that. Right? I don't allow anybody to dim my light because I understand the light. I understand that I was created in His image. I'll live the 3W life. What is the 3W life? I know who I am. I know who I am. I know whose I belong to, and I know why I am here. And so when I'm walking that 3W life, I promise you, you cannot come into my presence, right? And tell me that you don't know or woe is me. We're not doing that, not in my presence, okay? Because I know my why. I know my purpose, and my purpose is to ignite and invite and inspire you to understand your full identity. And I'm on a path right now for 2026 where I'm teaching everyone how to walk in your identity truth. What does that look like? All about purpose.
Awesome. That's so awesome. I often say it like this, is that we all came through a woman, each and every one of us, regardless of who your relationship with that woman, whether you know your mother, whether you were adopted, whatever the case was, all of us came through a woman. And when we came out, the doctor, the fire department, whoever was in your presence when you came out. The goal is to get you to cry. That cry
Mhm.
is so necessary, because if you don't cry, if you're in the hospital and you don't cry, the doctors will spank you until that cry comes. Because what happens, you have to make that cry is necessary. You have to make
Mhm.
your declaration to the world. And that cry is simply saying, I am here.
Right.
When we come out, you make that cry, you say, I am here. You come out with purpose tattooed all over you. You may
Mhm.
not know exactly what it is. That's why I said you don't have to find purpose. You uncover it, you rediscover it, because it was born with you when you came. Just like your name
Mhm.
was attached to you when you were
Mhm.
born, your purpose is attached to you. And what happens is, because of the cares of this world, the things we get distracted, so many things happen and we forget. And so I know that there are many of you who will see this video and you're like, you know what? And just like what Donna said, you'll come, well, I don't know what my purpose is. And that's thing like that. You just have not been around the right people to ask you the right questions. See, because a good coach, right, knows how to ask you the right questions that will make you dig deep down so that you can pull the answer out of yourself. It's not up to us to tell you what your purpose is. What we
Mhm.
do is that we ignite the fire in you. We connect you to the outlet so that you can get the fire and the power released in you. So now your eyes open, your vision is clear, clarity
Mhm.
comes, and you know what your purpose is. So and for many of us, it's that thing that you're passionate about. It's that thing that you're good at, that you can close your eyes and do it, and no one has to tell you. You already know. But because a lot of times we compare ourselves to other people, we think
Mhm.
it has to look the way someone else's does, or it has to, be like other people. But no, what
Mhm.
God is saying in this season to all of us, to step into our creativity so that we can unleash who we are as a person. And mine may not look like Donna's may not look like Kathy's. We are
Mhm.
all individuals, and it's a puzzle that fits together. If we all looked alike and we all did the same thing, that would not be the world that God created.
Right.
So I love the fact that, purpose is ongoing. And, like Donna said, at one time, everybody was talking about it. They talked about it and then they went on to the next phase. But for me, purpose is a part of who I am, because until I understood what my purpose was, my life
Mhm.
was miserable. Because that question I asked in the beginning, are you living a purpose driven life? Are you living in
Mhm.
purpose? Because if you don't know who you are and whose you are, as Donna said, and why you are here, then when trials come and tribulations come, you just knocked down by the wayside and you have
Right.
no way of getting up. But when you understand what your purpose is and you know that God has called you for a purpose. I was at
Mhm.
a funeral one time and I wish I could remember who said it so I can give them credit. But they said God saw a problem in the world, then he created you. That
Wow.
messed me up. That thing messed me up. It messed me up because
Mhm.
you are necessary. God is not coming out. Jesus walked his journey, right? He went to the
Mhm.
cross, buried, died, rose again. He said, it is finished. He did his part. Now we are living to get to our it is finished. And so when you know who you are, when things happen, you just won't feel stuck and stay there. You'll be able to get up because you'll say, you know what, this thing may come, these situations may arise, but because I still have purpose, I
Mhm.
know I cannot sit here and be unlived. I got to get up.
Mm.
I got to keep moving and I got to keep flowing in what God has called me to do. So it's so important. And Donna, like we as women, and Kathy, you've seen this, you have some years on us. You see how the roles of women have evolved over the
Mhm.
years. And now women are in a position and place where we are so effective. And if we use and utilize the tools and walk in the authority that God has given us, there's
Mhm.
amazing things we can do in this world because
Right.
we are powerful. We are life givers. We are
Mhm.
producers. There are so many things that we can do in this world. And so, Donna, I'm going to ask you this question. Living in the world like this world is today, it could be so discouraging. Like, really, if
Mhm.
you paid attention to the news, if you see all this stuff that this crazy, I got to bring myself in for a minute.
Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
If
Bring
you
it
see
in.
the things that are happening around you, it can be very discouraging.
Yeah.
And so each time when I see stuff and I just say, Father, I just pray your will, your good, acceptable, and
Mhm.
perfect will in this earth, because there's nothing else that because sometimes I'm just amazed or shocked, and I shouldn't be shocked because I know
Mhm.
what we're dealing with. But sometimes it's just like, God, come on, this cannot continue.
Right.
And so
I'm
being
there.
in a world like this, what is your message to people, Donna, in terms of the space that we're in right now and how society is, how our government is? What do you say to a person who just feels so discouraged about how this world is today?
Well, most of the people that I come in contact with, right? A lot of them are believers. And actually, they're the most discouraged. Let me just keep it real.
Mhm.
Okay. They are the most discouraged. Okay. I have been discouraged. Okay. But I snap right back out. Why? Because because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
Mhm.
And I believe that if I'm calling myself a believer, if I say I believe God, then I read the word and I'm meditating on the word, right? And I'm hearing the word daily, right? And I remember God telling me these four words that I just keep on repeating. Thy will be done.
Mm. Mm.
Those are four words that God
Yeah.
gave to me. Thy will be done. It's not in our time, and we don't know
Mhm.
when it's going to happen. But I trust God. And I keep on saying, I tell people all the time, we serve a God
Mhm.
who is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. He is God all by himself. And when we continuously put on to somebody that, I have to my husband, he's looking at this, he's looking at that. And I said, stop. But this is what he's doing. I don't give a rat's tail what he's doing. And
Mhm.
listen, I'm just being real. Why? Because I believe God.
I believe
I
God.
believe God. I stand on Mark 9:23 that anything is possible if I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
And I believe God. And I believe that God will by himself. That God's going to turn this thing around. I
Mhm.
trust God. And I remember the Lord giving me those four words. Thy will be done. And I share that with people. Thy will be done. I don't know the time and I don't know the hour, but I promise you, God gonna turn this around because we're not serving a king. No, 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 no. We have a king, the King of Kings. Okay, and I
Mhm.
believe if we trust God and just continue in our word, stand on our word. What did God say?
Mhm.
Not what you say, not what I say. What did God say? And so I just repeat what God said. I just repeat the word. And that's what encourages me. And that is how I encourage others, my family included.
Yeah.
Because we are all questioning, wait a minute. As somebody, God, what's going on here? But if you think about it, remember, I'm sure the slaves questioned God too,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no doubt about it. There's no doubt about
right? So we just living in a time. And then, you know what? And it may not happen in our time, but I'm believing God that it's going to happen in our time. I'm
it.
believing God.
Yes. Yes. Kathy, what would you add to that in terms of
Well,
encouraging people when they see all this stuff?
just continue to stand on the word of God and trust in him and know that God is going to have the final say. I know that if God can use a donkey, he can use anybody, you know. Absolutely, he can use anybody. So he's
Yeah.
going to have his way, and that's it. The bottom line is that, like Donna said, come thy kingdom, be done thy will.
Mhm.
Jesus, God will have the final say. Everything's going to be for it's being good, it's being done for our good and God's glory. We just put our trust in him, stand on his word, and we're gonna be here hopefully to see the final outcome. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
I believe that, and it's so important for us to make sure that we do the things that are necessary that brings life to ourselves,
Hmm.
because you can be so get so stuck in um you know listening to all the negativity and not realizing that things will change and they can change, but at the same
Mhm.
time, we have to do the work to make sure that we're doing what we need to do so that we can be better, because
Right.
it's our responsibility. We have to be a part of our own rescue, and it's our
Mhm.
responsibility to make sure that we do the work that will ensure, like, protect our peace, right? That
Right.
we have to be responsible for that, and be responsible for the things that we allow to come through our ear gate, and be responsible for
Mhm.
encouraging ourselves, and be responsible for uplifting ourselves and doing the things that are necessary to practice self-care, and to make sure that we are on this self-love journey as well, because the scriptures clearly say to love our neighbors as ourselves. But if we don't love ourselves, how can we love someone
Right.
else? And so we have to really do what is necessary to understand that we owe it to ourselves to uplift ourselves as well, because there's nobody else coming to do it. You know, I remember when I was a little girl, one of my favorite cartoons was Underdog, and pure bred Penelope would go stand on
Uh-huh.
the corner, and she would scream. She's saying, where's my underdog? Where could he be? And he would hear her voice. Whenever he
Uh-huh.
heard her voice, I don't care what he was doing. He was like a shoe shine boy or something. And he would run and change, and he would go save the day. Whenever
Yeah.
Penelope was on that, but ain't nobody coming to save us like that. Jesus saved us one time. He did his portion of it. And
Yeah.
now we have to be a part of our own rescue and do the things that we need to do to
Mhm.
save ourselves, to make sure that we are whole, to make sure that we are doing the things that are necessary to encourage ourselves. And so it's so important. So anybody that sees this and listening to this, I want you to stay encouraged. I want you not to
Mhm.
give up. I want you to put in place, do things that are necessary to make sure that you uplift yourself and encourage yourself and build yourself up. You have the power to do it. And we live in a world today through technology that
Mhm.
we have access to so many resources
Right.
we can use to empower ourselves. And one thing I tell people all the time, therapy, go to therapy. You know, we
Mhm.
are people of color. Years ago, nobody went to therapy. Don't talk about therapy. Don't talk about counseling. But I encourage you today to take advantage of counseling, take advantage of therapy. Listen, if you have insurance on your job, all some of you have to do is just pay a copay. But you can go through your insurance company to find a good therapist, to find a good counselor, and to do
Mhm.
what is necessary, because the therapist will give you the tools and the strategies that you need to put into place
Mhm.
different things and how to react to different things when they take place in your life. And a lot of us have experienced trauma, deep
Mm.
trauma. And because we refuse to deal with our trauma, we try to suppress everything, and it shows up in our relationships. It shows up when we try to start a business. Will show up because as an empowerment coach, I get people a lot of times when I do the intake with them. We talk about some of the things, and I realize I have to say to some of them, you know what, sweetheart, I know my job, I help you move from where you are to where you really want to be. But talking to you, I
Mhm.
really believe you need counseling and you need therapy, because you have some deep root issues in you. And if you don't address those issues, if you don't deal with those issues, then they will affect your business. They will affect the different things that you're trying to do, the projects and things like that. They will
Mhm.
affect those things. And so, again, we owe it to ourselves to do the work that is necessary in order for us to live a fulfilled life. And that main connection is the connection that we have with the Creator, the
Right.
connection we have with God. That is the main connection. And once we do that, then things will begin to flow in our lives, because God desires to do great things in us. He desires
Mhm.
to see us live an abundant life, a fulfilled life. He desires us to walk in joy and to experience life abundantly. And so, you know, that's my heart. That's what I hear. That's what I know. And that's what I say. We cannot get discouraged, and we cannot be discouraged about the things that are taking place in this world, because I believe that in the land of the living that we shall see
Hmm.
God's hand move mightily, and He will get the glory out of all of this, you know. And
Amen.
so many, He's going to get the glory, and so I know that. And so, with that being said, I'm talking about doing the things that are necessary to ensure that you do the self work to empower you, to make sure you protect your peace and
Hmm.
you build yourself up and you do the things that is one reason why God, I believe, gave me Ladies Night Out. I've been doing Ladies Night Out. I saw a flyer from 2013 when it
Wow.
was $15. We had vendors there. I had a saxophonist there. We had so much fun. We were in Holland Park and we had a great time. And I tell you, as time went on, God began to elevate these things. We enlarged
Hmm.
it, we expanded it, and we come together to just let everything go. So normally we do it in December. It's usually the last Saturday in December, right after the Christmas holiday. And
Hmm.
it's so funny because the first time when God gave it to me this way is like, I'm like, people, it's right after Christmas. People not going to want to come and do anything like that. Mothers running around. And then that's when I realized this is the time that women need this most, because we spend so much time making sure everybody else's holiday
Hmm.
is good and we don't
Right.
do anything for ourselves. So this Ladies Night Out, Ladies in Red, is a time of celebration. And when I put it out there, the ladies responded, the women responded. And I'm so grateful to God. This was the first time we've ever had to move it due to the weather. The weather has always been favorable to us, but this time God said, okay, we're going to do it in the other red month, and that is the month of February. We
Yeah.
still in the red. Look at that. When they came back and they gave me the day, I was like, okay, so we
Still
still
good.
red. We still could do this. We went from the Christmas holiday red to the Valentine's red, and
Mhm.
while we're not promoting all that kind of stuff, but we just
Right.
know that that's another red season. And so we are going to come together. The vendors are going to be in the place. We have a very beautiful vendor marketplace. It's not, anything shady. These vendors that roll with me are women of integrity. They have excellent customer service and they always show up. And it's such an amazing thing because I've had people who didn't show up and they didn't show up then and then they didn't come back. Okay.
Mm.
And so the vendors that are there, they show up and I so appreciate them. And so Donna is here tonight as a vendor. Kathy is here tonight as a vendor. And not only and these are just a small, we have a bunch of other vendors. And this was a pop-up that we did tonight. I wanted to have this conversation about purpose and encouragement. And then I wanted to give them, Donna mentioned some of the stuff that she does already that she's going to have. And Kathy said the same, but I want them to talk about what do they expect from Ladies Night Out. I know what I expect and I'll talk about it when they finish, but I want them to tell me what do they expect from this year's Ladies Night Out. Now we are praying now that the weather God, we don't need another reschedule, but we know we ain't in charge. You are, but we already praying no snow that weekend. But Donna, let me ask you, what are you expecting? You've been with me. The only time you didn't do it is when you went away, because you used to do this thing in December, go away and all that. So I'm so glad that God said, okay, that's enough of that. You had a couple of times when you went away, not a lot, but
Yeah,
you had a couple of times
right.
you weren't able
You're
to
right.
because you went away. And
You're
so,
right.
but tell me, what do you expect from this year's Ladies Night Out?
Well, first and foremost, 2025 has been, I don't call it, I don't call problems problems. I call them challenging opportunities, right?
Mhm,
Mhm.
And I say they are challenges that present an opportunity for me to stand on the word of God and stand on the God's promises.
mhm,
And so there has been a ton of challenging opportunities in 2025. So my expectation, you talking about a sister who was looking forward to getting dressed up, dancing. I love to dance. Okay, yes, the D dot I loves to dance. I'm gonna be on the floor. Okay, I sure will. Okay, and any opportunity. So I was looking forward. My soul needed to be with my sisters. My soul needed to be among women who was just coming together and I believe on one accord, right?
Mhm.
To just come together and this just relax and just relax and enjoy and have fun. And I always, anytime Stella's doing something, I'm more. You've got women waiting. Well, okay, Di, where the cupcakes? Where they at? Okay, so and that's what that's how I also believe in. I serve, I sow, and I support, and that's what I do. And so I get joy out of that, right? So I was looking forward, okay, and I was bringing it. Like I said, I'm also launching something, okay, and so I was looking forward to it because I know what I need. I know what I need, and so I was just so grateful that I could look forward to this ladies' night and written. So when it didn't happen, I said I'm okay, God, I'm okay because I know what's going to happen in February. Okay, Marcella gave me the new date, and so I have an expectation of God showing up and showing out through every vendor and through every guest that's there, because it says that we are coming together on one accord to be a part of something magical, something just for us. Listen, I'm God grateful to be a part of it. Okay.
Kathy, what are you expecting on Ladies Night Out?
Well, I'm expecting fun and fellowship and good food and sisterhood and seeing some of the people that I know and getting to meet some of the ones that I don't know. But, just spreading love and having fun and letting your hair down and, just a good time. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when we didn't have the actual event that night, December 27th, I had a Zoom ladies night out, right? And so the ladies came on, and my first question for them is, as we went around the room, I asked them to tell me what they were going to wear that night. And I tell you, it was so much fun when I was listening to some of the outfits that they had planned on wearing that they probably still going to wear. But we talked about it. We talked about the outfits that they were going to wear that night, and I am so looking forward to these ladies, the outfits and everything that they're going to wear that night. It was so much fun. And so what I expect out of it, and so it's a lot of work in preparation, but I'm fulfilled every time that I do it, because I know that there's so many people, including myself, that need the connection, that need the
Right.
sisterhood. And so as we come together just in fellowship and fun, and every year is different. But I just know, and we have a lot of new people this year that are coming,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping that the people who couldn't make it on December 27th will find a way to get to us on February the 7th. That would be
Mhm.
such a blessing. But I'm just excited because I know that great things are going to come from this, simply because we're coming together, and there's something so powerful about when we come together. Donna mentioned this early about being on one accord. When we come together, there's such a unity, there's so much strength. And so what last year we always celebrate the birthdays. So now, instead of December birthdays, we'll celebrate February birthdays. And then we celebrated last year caregivers. And I was going to do single mothers in December, but then there's a shift because so much is going on. We're going to celebrate the caregivers again in February. And so it's all about just celebrating each other, coming together, and just having a great time. And I know that it's going to be amazing. And so I'm so excited that both of you will be there with us. I'm excited about what you offer. I'm excited about just all of us coming together and being in that room. We're in that back room. We're not because now they had to fit us in. And so we're as soon as you come in the room, that first room. I've never been in that first room because I've been to the Pines Manor a trillion times, but I've never been to an event in that first room. So I don't know what to expect in the first room, but whatever we are, we make the room.
Right.
We make the room, right? And so I'm excited about that. So I'm just, you know what? So if registration is open. If you have not registered for Ladies Night Out and you are now available, you may have not been able to make it in December. It
Mm-hmm.
is available February 7th, 2026. We're coming together at the Pines Manor, 2085 Lincoln Highway in Edison, New Jersey, right off of 27. It's close to 287, close to Route 1, not far from the Turnpike. All roads lead to the Pines Manor on that day. So I'm looking forward to just great fellowship. I can't wait. The problem with the attire for me is that, unfortunately, when I put my clothes in the closet, my closet shrinks off of my clothes, right? My closet just, I don't know what it is. I probably got to get some type of device in my closet that when stuff goes in there, it stops shrinking it.
Yeah.
It shrinks my clothing. So when I go to put it on, I can no longer fit it because my closet literally shrinks my clothes, right?
Amazing.
So I is it just me or does it happen to anyone else? Listen, if you're watching this, if you see the replay, you got to tell me, is it just me? Is it just me or does it happen to you as well? And so I got to, play around a little bit to see what what I'm gonna put on, simply because this problem with my closet, and it's crazy because, in my younger days, my closets were always cool. So I don't know, but now in my older age, this fine wine that's here and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I'm telling you, I buy it, put it in the closet, and then it just automatically shrinks. So I probably need to look into that,
Yeah.
to get maybe some different type of construction in the closet or something. But and so I got to see what I'm going to put on this time. But you know what? I'm so excited and I'm so happy. And Donna and Kathy, I thank you so much
Yes.
for your time tonight. I thank you for sharing the love, sharing your heart. And I know that someone will listen to this and see this and be encouraged just by the conversation tonight. And so we may do some more pop-ups. We're on our road to February 7th. So y'all be on the lookout for us. Again, we look forward to seeing you in the house. I know that if you come, you are going to have an amazing time. And so, Kathy, I want to give you an opportunity to share any closing words for this broadcast. And I'm not saying final words because you got a lot more words to have. And so I want you to give some closing words tonight, not just about Ladies Night Out, not just about your vending business, but whatever is on your heart. I want to give you an opportunity to share those words tonight.
I just want to say that, to be encouraged, to stay with God. He hasn't left you. He never will. And just be on the right side. That's God's side. That's what I have to say.
Awesome. Donna?
Mhm.
Donna, can you hear me? Oh, there you go.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
My words to anyone who's listening, that you pay attention. Pay attention to the intentions of God.
Mhm.
Pay attention to the intentions of God, and know who you are. And if you want to say, who am I? Who am I? Go back and read Genesis 126, 127. God created you in his image,
Mhm.
and you and God are one because he created you in his image. And when you understand that, then whatever comes our way, 2026, we will be able to walk in our identity truth.
Mhm.
But it starts with you understanding who you are and who he has called you to be. So be encouraged. Be encouraged. I had to encourage myself.
Mm,
Okay. I promise you. Okay. I could what? I had to encourage myself because guess what? The enemy gonna be on the enemy's job.
Mhm.
And what is the enemy's job? To steal, destroy, and kill the thoughts of God.
Yeah.
But while the enemy is on his job, listen, y'all better do what Sarah said. You better be a part of your own rescue.
mhm.
Right.
Be a part of your own rescue. And how you being a part of your own rescue? You get into your word.
Mhm.
You pray. God has given you the tools. He created you in his image. So just pay attention. Pay attention to the intentions of God. That's what I leave with you. That if you don't, it's so important for us in 2026. I heard God. I heard God clearly. Pay attention. the intentions of God and watch God show up and show out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Donna, what I need you to do right now, because that was so good. What does paying attention to the intentions of God look like? Because people can hear that, but then I hear somebody saying, but what is that?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What is that? Is that you being obedient to what you God gives you the sign, and you
Mm-hmm.
see the signs, you know the signs, you hear the signs, but you decide that you're gonna do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention when God tells you to write that book. You're not paying attention when God tells you it's time for you to move on. You're not paying attention when you are being mistreated, abused, psychologically, mentally, or even
Mm-hmm.
physically. You're not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
When God is telling you, God has called you into, I need you, I need you, I need your voice. But you want to play small. You're not paying attention to the intentions of God.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm only telling you what God had to tell me because God had to check me. And he checked me real good, right? Me, okay, I wanted to do one thing, but God said, pay attention, Donna. Pay attention pay attention to the intentions of God, not to man. Pay attention. What did God say? So many of you want to give up. You want to quit. You want to be an entrepreneur, right? But yet you want, oh no, because so somebody in your family tell you, give up that. That's not making you no money. Pay attention. What did God say? Some of y'all, God has called into ministry, but because somebody didn't validate you, somebody didn't tell you, okay, okay, Donna, calm it down. Somebody didn't tell you, okay, you will not go out and do what God told you to do. Now listen, we all have pastors, we all have shepherds, right? But
Mm-hmm.
God has called you. What are you going to do? But because somebody didn't put you in the pulpit, you're not gonna start that prayer call. You're not gonna preach the gospel. Come on. Yes, we have to have structure. Yes, we have to have wisdom, and yes, we have to have guidance. But either you hear from God or not. Make a decision. Did you hear God or not? Because I know I hear God. My sheep will know my voice.
Yes.
Pay attention to the intentions of God.
That was good. And
Mm-hmm.
so some of you need to go back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you need to go back when you was in that space and place in your life where you heard God and you knew that God was wooing you or giving you something. Sometimes we got to go back because we forget. Because again, like what I said, the cares of this world. That
Mm-hmm.
cry that I talked about in the beginning, right now, that cry is searching for you. The cry
Mm-hmm.
that says, I am here, that came when you were a baby, that cry is searching you out. And so sometimes you got to go back to the beginning when you had the confidence, when you knew it was God. Some of us, there was a time in our lives where we were so excited about everything and things were good. And we knew things was like, I knew this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I got to go here. I got to do this. But then we allow people and situations and things and circumstances to
Mm-hmm.
crush us and to make us feel bad and things we want our timing instead of God's timing.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to that time, go back to that moment, and then work your way up. As Donna said, you work your way up and you go back and look at the signs. 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 We got stop sign, yielding sign, caution sign. Pay attention to the signs, and that will lead you to what God's intention is for your life. And
And purpose.
that intention for
And
your life is purpose.
Mm-hmm.
sis, let me just share. So sometimes, people really learn by examples, right? And very briefly, so Stella and I have been together. Listen, y'all, connected to the hip, okay? Okay. We know when each other's going through, so we don't have to talk every day, but we know
Mm-hmm.
when each of us are going through something. We just know we're divinely connected, right? And Stella one day told me years ago when I just had met her, I think, yeah. Okay, Donna, you gonna be on this prayer call. I said, no, I'm not. She said, yeah, you gonna be on this prayer call, and you gonna pray for the people business. I said, no, I'm not. I said, that's not my jam. That's your jam. Yeah, I talked to her just like that, y'all. I said, that's not my jam. That is your jam. Now, no, God ain't told me that. That's what I said, y'all. But she said, you're going to be on it, and this is the date you're going to be, and this is the topic, this is the prayer point, all the things. So I said, okay. I said, okay. Now let me tell y'all something about paying attention to the intentions of God. Stella, and I call her my purpose pusher, y'all. That's what I call her, okay? Stella pushed me off the ledge, y'all. Had I not paid attention to the intention of God, I would not be the founder of the CEO prayer closet. When I'm talking about paying attention to the intentions of God, God used Stella as a purpose pusher to push me. And that CEO prayer closet, people have been healed, people have been delivered, people have. I was talking about one woman who came on when I first started, but I used to do it on Facebook. Now I do it on Clubhouse. And she first started on Clubhouse with me 5 years ago. This woman, she could barely talk. And now, what? You can't, what? And she says to me, I want to thank you. She said, God used you to help me understand who I am and that I had purpose. Wow. So if I had not paid attention to the intentions of God, if I would have said no to Stella, I wouldn't be living out my purpose. So that's I pray that you understand that God will use people, but listen, the enemy will also come and steal, destroy, and kill the thoughts. Had I allowed the enemy to tell me, no, that's not you, you're not doing that, whatever, no, then I would have been disobedient. And I would not have been paying attention to the intentions of God.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. And so y'all listen, no more excuses. Y'all already know. For those of you, some of you will watch this who are out of state. You're not close by. You can't meet us as we ignite purpose and at the ladies' night out. But this is your opportunity to hear what God is saying to you and to make a decision to be a part of your own rescue and position yourself so that you can be everything that God has called you to be, because you are amazing. You are never too old. You are never too late. But I can't want it for you. Donna can't want it for you. Kathy can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. I tell my children that. I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. And so we're saying this to you tonight. We're encouraging you. We're speaking to you woman to woman. Woman to woman, woman to woman. Hear us, woman to woman. This is not the end for you. I don't care what you've been through. Your past does not dictate your path does not dictate your future. It creates lessons and blessings that you can use to empower yourself today. So take all of those things that you've experienced, take all of those things that you've been through, and allow God to breathe on them so it can ignite you, so that you can walk in the purpose and that you can live by the intentions of God. So that is it. This was your moment. God is speaking to you. I need you to take these words, hold them dear to your heart. Walk, listen to this again if you have to, because there were several nuggets that were dropped in this broadcast tonight. And I know it will encourage you. If you know someone who you know need to hear this and be empowered by this, please share this with them as well. I know that God is doing something great in the earth. I don't care what it looks like over there on that side with all that crazy going on. God is doing something powerful in the midst of the lives of his people. And if you just sit still long enough and embrace his love, because you are loved, you are loved, you are so loved, you will see great things in your life. It's not over for you. It is never, you're never too old and it's never too late. And so until we meet again, I want you all to join me wherever I pop up on Marcella and Friends, because I guarantee you that we're going to drop some nuggets that's going to help position you to be everything that God has called you to be. So I want you to be blessed. Have an amazing night. I can't wait to see those of you who will be joining us for Ladies Night Out. Get ready. We're going to have a great time. Be able to get ready to walk out the building, ready to live a purpose-driven life. We love y'all. Be blessed and have an amazing, did I say amazing? I think I did.
Amazing.
Have an amazing night. Love y'all. Be blessed.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Be blessed.